Welcome to Breakthrough. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to click the subscribe button followed by the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos.
Bye. It's interesting to me that at the end of 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed a dream. Joseph didn't dream a dream. He already had dreamed a dream. Remember when he told his brothers, he said, I dreamed a dream, and there was these haystacks standing up, and all of you guys came, and your haystacks bent down and gave they worshiped me. They bent down and said I was someone higher than them. And it's interesting in Joseph's life that, and you can see the story in Genesis 1. I'm sorry, I moved a little bit out of sync, but he said his brothers hated him more because his dad, Israel, loved him more than all of his other brothers, okay? And the brothers knew it, and so then when he began to recite the dream that God had given him, they hated him even more. And it's interesting to know that. But Pharaoh was called by God to dream a dream. See, Joseph was called also, but God used Pharaoh to help Joseph, right? God used Pharaoh to help Joseph. Joseph didn't have to worry about helping Joseph. Joseph had to worry about worshiping God, had to worry about his position with God. Amen? Joseph could have said no. Pharaoh dreamed a dream. Joseph could have said, and Pharaoh called for Joseph, and Joseph could have went, I can't go to Pharaoh. And he could have got worried, why am I going to Pharaoh? What's going to happen? What's Pharaoh going to do to me? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to kill me? Is he going to kill me? I don't know what he's going to do. Why is he even calling me? He could have got concerned. He could have got to a place and just said, no, I'd just rather stay in jail. It's my place of comfort. I don't have to worry about where I'm getting my meal tomorrow. Right? I'm just going to stay right there. Right? How did Pharaoh even know he was in jail? He didn't know. He didn't even know nothing about Joseph. 2 full years had gone by. And actually it was longer than that. But he was in jail and Pharaoh knew nothing about him until Pharaoh dreamed a dream. Pharaoh dreamed a dream. I think it's interesting when we think about God's providence. Okay, it's interesting to go to the beginning for a moment, if you would, and look at Genesis 1, verse 1. It says, in the beginning God. In the beginning God. And he created the heaven and the earth. In verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And see, if I was preaching a salvation message, I would bring that verse to you, and I'd say, your life without God is going to be void and darkness, right? And there's going to be nothing. There's going to be no form to it. Okay? Because that's really what our life looks like without God. But when the Spirit of God comes into your life, it is no longer without form. It's no longer in darkness, and it's no longer void. And I love it. It says, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said in verse 3, let there be light. And I've struggled with that verse, just that statement this week. I struggled with it because I wondered, does God need light really to see? Does God need light? The answer is no. He doesn't need light. Matter of fact, there's a verse that says, in the darkness, he sees it as if it is light. He can see all things. He doesn't need this kind of vision for provision. Come on. He doesn't need our vision for his provision. He doesn't need it. He already has prepared for us, each of us, provision in our life. God said, let there be light. He said, let there be light. See, because light is the source of life. Amen? Light is the source of light. God, who is the creator, who could create anything first, created the source of life first, light. He created it first. He didn't create Pastor Everett first, although I think he could have done a better job at creating things if he had created me and asked me how to do everything else. Because then everything would be exactly the way I think it should be. Or maybe he should have created you first, or someone else first, but he created light first. I love this verse in John 8, verse 32. It says, and you will know the truth, and the truth will what? Set you free. Amen? Jesus, God, is on the throne here today. Amen? Everything begins with light. I love that verse. God is the Father of light. In other words, there was no light until God said, I'm going to make light. So he made light. Light came out from him. He spoke light into existence this morning. Right? It's because we need to see that he made light. Amen? I need to be able to see, and I will see when I embrace the truth in my life. Nothing will grow without it. If you don't have light, nothing's going to grow. Nothing's going to grow. Not really. I mean, some stuff might look like it's going to grow, but it's not going to grow unless there's light. Light is the source, right, by which life flows to us. Amen? And here's an interesting tip from 2 Corinthians 3 and 4. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid from them that are lost. In verse 4, in whom the God of this world, little g, God, okay, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Jesus is the light of the world. He came to live in me so that I could become the light of the world. Amen? You can become the light of the world. We are the light of the world. Jesus is the light of the world, but if he lives in us, we are the light of the world. Amen?